Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you want to put it, you know how to do it, don't you?
Oh, okay.
I think put it to the purpose, straight to the purpose, or... Okay, yeah. All right, just... No, no, leave that one. Just leave 46. I don't need the other ones. I'll just talk them through it. Yeah, yeah. You want to do this? I can do that. Well, it's loading up. Ready? Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanatari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gokul Nanda Radha Gokul Nanda Sri Radhe. Jayo Radha Gokul Nanda Radha Gokul Nanda Sri Radhe. Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Thank you everyone for coming today to Bhaktivedanta Manor on this nice sunny Saturday afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. To come and see Lord Krishna in his house. It's nice of you all to be here. So today we are going to be talking from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 18, verse 41 to 46. So, I'd like to welcome all the viewers online. And, okay. There's no hard and fast rule, so I'm not going to be asking you many questions, so just bear with me. Okay, thank you. So before we start anything, we'd just like to invoke the Lordships. I know they're on the altar there, but we still like to invite them so that they're aware that we're going to be doing class and they can listen in to the class as well. Because it's nice when someone's glorifying someone, they like to listen to them. So in the same way, we'll just invite the Lord. So we fold our hands together and we say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're talking from chapter 18, verse 41 to 46. If any of you have the Bhagavad Gita, you can read it. Otherwise, you can have a look on your phone. There's an app called Vedabase. You can look at it on that. And if anybody wants this one, give it to someone. If anybody wants to follow. Chapter 18, verse 41 to 46. So, chapter 18 is entitled The Perfection of Renunciation. Renunciation means when you're giving up everything. But we're not giving up everything. So, as we all know, the Bhagavad Gita, it was spoken by Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And the Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. So you got chapter 1 to 6, 7 to 12, and 13 to 18. And they deal with three main aspect topics. 1 to 6 deals with karma. 7 to 12, which is the most important one, is about bhakti. And then the last 6 from 13 to 18 is all about Gyan, knowledge. So when Krishna spoke to Arjuna, he was on a battlefield. And Arjuna was quite disillusioned, perplexed and confused. What should I be doing? And quite often, sometimes we're the same as well. You know, we get confused sometimes, a lot of the times, like at work, or when you're doing so many things, we get confused, we want help, we want someone to guide us. In the modern times, they're known as counselors or mentors, or a guide or a guru. You know, I mean, you can see around here, children will ask their parents, and the parents will ask their parents for guidance on anything. So it's an inbuilt thing that we need help from one another. So hence, similar to Krishna, he became the guide for Arjuna. And then Krishna said, okay, no worries. I will tell you everything that you need to know, and I'll be your guide. Now you can imagine, you know, trying to tell someone on the battlefield that I'll guide you to what's right and what's wrong. You're at the same time, you're in the middle of a battlefield and you're looking at both sides. You've got 2 big armies there about to fight each other. And you think, should I be fighting this or not? As the case may be. So chapter 18, in essence, is a summary of all the chapters. It's like when we have a lot of us students, when you're students and you have exams or something, and when you've got about 2 or 3 months left remaining to your exams, it's like you're making quick notes. So you're going to memorize, you make those little leaflets, you know, those on post notes or postcards, you know, you write just the main points so you can remember them when you need to do them. So in a similar way, this is what's happening in chapter 18. So Krishna's been speaking throughout the whole 17 chapters. Now it's a summary. And in bite-size, Krishna's trying to explain again to Arjuna, remember these points. So today's verse that we're going to be talking from is verse 41 to 46. But the key verse, because between 41 to 45, all those verses have no commentary on them. There's no purport to them. The only purport is in verse 46, which is the main conclusion of all those 5 verses, which is up on the screen there. Okay? So what we'll do, we'll recite that verse, and then we go through the translation of it, and then we'll read some of the purport that goes with that. So, Yata Pravatir Bhutanam Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam Svakaranam Tam Abhacharya Siddham Vindati Manava. So if we say it together, Yata Parvitir Bhutanam Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam Svakaranam Tam Abhacharya Siddham Vidanti Manava. So translation, Brenda, translation, just scroll down. So translation of that is, that's it. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So we'll read the purport, which is on there. So bring it down. As stated in the 15th chapter, all living beings are fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Supreme Lord is the beginning of all living entities. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmad Asayata. The Supreme Lord is therefore the beginning of life of every living entity. And as stated in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord by his two energies, his external energy and his internal energy, is all-pervading. Therefore, one should worship the Supreme Lord with his energies. Generally, a Vaishnava devotee worships the Supreme Lord with his eternal energy. His external energy is a perverted reflection of the internal energy. The external energy is a background, but the Supreme Lord, by his expansion of his plenary portion as Paramatma, is situated everywhere. He is a super soul of all demigods, all human beings, all animals, everywhere. One should therefore know that the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one has unity, one has his duty to render service unto the Supreme. Everyone should be engaged in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. That is recommended in this verse. Everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesha, the master of the senses. And by the result of the work in which one is engaged, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, should be worshipped. If one thinks always that in this way, in full Krishna consciousness, then by the grace of the Lord, he becomes fully aware of everything. That is the perfection of life. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 12.7, Desam aham samudarato. The Supreme Lord himself takes charge of delivering such a devotee. That is the highest perfection of life in whatever occupation one may be engaged. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection. That's quite long-winded there, quite a lot to understand, but we'll try and work on the message that Krishna is trying to say to us. Om Agyanatimarindasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasme Sri Gurube Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staptam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rupam Kudamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatagavam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Saguru Chatam Saganavagru Natham Vitam Tam Sajidam Savadetam Sagadutam Parijana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Jaivam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasade Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, the previous 5 verses before this, Krishna is talking about the type of work we do, which is through here, by performing his own work. Now, what Krishna says when someone says performing their own work, like, we know there are 4 types of different ashrams, and there are 4 types of varnas. Anybody want to take a guess? Just a wild guess, anyone? Grihastha, yeah. Yeah. Brahmachari, yeah. And the last, the final one? Absolutely, very good, everyone. So you'll pass on that one. And so we know there's 4 ashrams and there are 4 varnas that go with it. Yes. Yeah. 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 So we all know what they are. Yes, absolutely. So that's what Krishna is talking about in these verses here. So, you know, sometimes we think, why is Krishna talking about these verses? So we think, really? Now, we all know that in this material world, as we call it, there are 800 million, 180 million species of life. And we reincarnate through all these different lives, through all these different bodies. And when you're going through these bodies, the different that we go through, we are entangled in what we call the 3 modes of material nature, the 3 gunas. You know. So, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. You know, nobody can say that they don't possess any of them, because we all possess them. Even I have them. Everyone has them. Even animals have them. So, everyone possesses these 3 gunas. Now, these 3 gunas originate from Krishna, because he states in Bhagavad Gita 7.12, he says that, know that all states of being be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. So Krishna manifests these three modes. Why? Because in the material world, everyone is entangled. We heard of what we call the World Wide Web now. Initially as the internet, but before it's called the World Wide Web, where everyone was trapped. Everyone is glued to the internet. So that in itself is a web, like if you think of it. So now Krishna has created these three modes. So what happens, the next verse after that, Krishna said, deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world doesn't know who I am. But I'm above these modes and I'm inexhaustible. So Krishna, where Krishna lives, Golok Vrindavan, there is none of this. There are no three modes. There's nothing there. What everyone is doing is just serving Krishna, nothing else. They serve him with love and affection. It's not like, oh, do I have to do this again? Oh, have I got to serve Krishna? There's none of that. They're just lovingly serving him. And this is what it is. Now, when we're going through all these birth and death cycles, we have what we call this outer body, okay, which when we pass away, we burn and we cremate. But then we have something inside us, which is a subtle body. Now, this subtle body carries us from one life to another. And it's that subtle body that makes us into who we are. Hence, we all have likes, dislikes, desires, and even our thoughts vary upon all those that we've gone through. Again in Bhagavad Gita, that's why everyone is so different. There are no two people the same. You can even have twins that are born, but they're not even the same, because the life cycle that they've gone through, no one knows. Only they know. In fact, they don't know, only Krishna knows. But they picked up all these traits, all these habits through their lifetimes, and that's what reflects on them. So Krishna is saying this. Again, we think, where's the proof of this? We will say, where's the proof of this? Krishna says in chapter 15, verse 8, the living entity in the material world carries his different conception of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. So it's quite categorically saying that all these different conceptions we take with us. So that's why everyone is different. The nature of the work we do is different. And even kids, that's why we have likes and dislikes. Even children say, I like doing this, I don't like doing this. We have a natural attraction to certain things that we like to do and we don't do. So, Krishna, he has made these 4 divisions, the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. So, I'll come to it later. Yeah. So, in a few chapters back, chapter 4, text 13, Krishna Chatar Varnyam Maya Shastram Guna Karma Vibhagasha. According to the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me. So Krishna has already created this. He's created the material world, he's created the living beings, and then he's created the 3 modes of material nature, and then he's created the 4 varnas, and then the ashrams and the varnas. So he's created all this because this material world is quite confusing. And then because we had the desire to be free from Krishna, and that's why we came to this material world to enjoy. Rather than enjoying with Krishna, we wanted to enjoy it for ourselves. So that's why we come here, and that's why we're entrapped in all this. So, verse 41, it talks about the Brahmanas. Okay, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. They're all designated, distinguished by the qualities born out of their natures. Okay. That's what Krishna says. So, all people have an inclination towards some kind of the above. They either want to do this thing or they want to do that thing. They want to be Brahmins, they want to be Kshatriyas, they want to be Vaishyas, they want to be Sudras. But what Krishna is trying to say is, whatever Varna you're in, doesn't matter. Just your duty is to execute that role perfectly, and if you can, do it with devotional service. That's basically what he's trying to say. So in verse 42, Krishna comes up to explain the first one, Brahmanas. What are the qualities of the Brahmana? So the Brahmana is peaceful. He controls his mind. He's not agitated. He likes to do devotional service. Like Prabhuji at the altar, he's never agitated. You never see him lose his mind. He's cool as anything. And all he likes to do is devotional service. Whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, Prabhuji will be here. Whether it's 9 o'clock at night, last thing, he'll be here. All he wants to do is just serve the Lord. Shri Radha Gokulanand Bhagwan Ji ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gaurnitai ki. So, peacefulness is one. Self-control. They're controlling the senses. The Brahmanas control the senses. Why? Now we know we've got 5 senses. They like seeing the lordships. They like hearing about the lordships. They like eating prasadam. And everything to do is Lord. That's how they control the senses. When they offer the flowers, they don't smell them. They only smell the flowers once they're offered to the Lord. With eyes, they like to worship the Lord. Austerity, they're very austere. When you see them, like we know, every 2 weeks is an Ekadashi. So they're fasting every 2 weeks to please the Lord. Some people just do normal Ekadashi, and some people do Nirjala Ekadashi on every single Ekadashi. So they don't have any grains, they don't have any water. So that's how austere they are. Twice a week, they do that. And then once a year, we have the actual Nirjala Ekadashi as well. And not only on that, we have festival days like Janamashtami and Radhashtami, Nityanand Trayodashi. There's fasting on those days as well. So they're also fasting on that. So they're quite austere. So there's purity. When you're Brahmanas, you have to bathe 3 times a day. So you have the cleanliness of the body from the outside, but they also do chanting and japa, which is the cleanliness of the inside. And they're tolerant. They are aware that things constantly change, and they're not fazed by that. No matter what happens, if you're not feeling well, the pujaris will still come and do service. The Brahmanas will carry on with their service. They put all that to one side to carry on the duty of serving the Lord. The Brahmanas, honesty, they're very simple and straightforward in all situations. They have knowledge, they have wisdom, they're religious. They read and teach the Vedas with the help of the Guru. And they have these faith in the Vedas. And these are the natural qualities by which the Brahmana will teach to society. They are considered to be the heads of society because they know what they should be doing. The Brahmanas, they provide education and even provide leadership, spiritual leadership to people who know it. And then they perform various sacrifices and ceremonies and teach others how to perform them as well. And they're always constantly giving guidance, free of charge. They don't charge you anything, and they give guidance to people, whoever needs it. And then verse 43 goes on to the Kshatriyas. They're known as the administrators or the kings. What are Kshatriyas, warriors? What are they famous for? What are they good for? Fighting, yes. So they're heroes. Heroism is one of, they'll face anything that comes to them. They'll never refuse any kind of challenge. And being Kshatriyas is so powerful, nothing can be beaten. they say, I'm the best, no one can beat me. It's like on the battlefield, on the Kurukshetra battlefield of Mahabharata, everyone was a warrior. Everyone thought he was so good, no one can defeat me. That's how they are. If somebody says, right, let's have a fight, they'll be the first ones there to go there. Determination. They're very determined. They remain positive. Even in the times of difficulty, they'll remain positive. They are resourceful. They're experts in doing the task that is given to them. Like in the older times, the king would say, I need you to do this, this, this. And go outside to collect the taxes. They're the ones who will go out to collect the taxes. Like I said, they are courageous in battle. They always accept challenges. They never run away. And this is the point that Krishna was trying to tell Arjuna. You're a warrior. You're a kshatriya. Your duty is to fight. So you need to fight. Okay? And then that's what I'm saying. Some people are naturally good at fighting. And they always fight for a good cause. They'll be the first people to come into battle and the last ones to flee from the battle. Even if they're injured, they'll fight as much as they can. And generosity. They are generous. Whatever they have, they will give. They are there to protect people. They'll protect people, those who can't fend for themselves. This is what Kshatriyas are. I mean, they have a certain number of privileges, and have the character, and the bodily strength makes them stand out from everyone else. You know, they protect people from harm, protect the women, protect the cows, and protect the brahmanas, and they protect the elderly people. Okay. Also crime. In the kingdoms, in the old days when they had kingdoms, the crimes, they'll take care of that. And also, any shortcomings in the kingdom, they will look after that. And then they have, text 44 will take us on to the Vaishyas. Now these are like the farmers, the merchants, and the business people. They are people who naturally, they have a natural tendency to do business, to deal with money and cash flow. That's their first principal thought. And the Vaishyas classes, the Vaishyas are the productive people. And in these you have, there are two varnas. Okay, you have what you call the twice born, the ones who the Brahmin third, who have spiritual initiation. Okay, and in these merchants, their job, like we said, the Kshatriya, is to look after the cows. Okay, so cows are very important. Okay, so even in this, the farmers, they have a lot of cows. They look after the cows. So they also tend to protect the cows and animals. But cows are especially important, and the land itself for the farming and crops. This is where the Vaishyas, the farmers come in, because they're there to protect the animals, the land. They do the farming to help all the people. And hence they're very important, because they're feeding everyone. Without the farmers, you wouldn't have anyone else, really, would you? You wouldn't be able to make anything or cook anything. And then cows are also important. But why are cows important? Because it's stated in the Shastras, cows are important. Now, through cows, one could measure one's wealth and determine how wealthy a person was. Back when you look at the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says wealth was determined by the amount of land you had and then the amount of cows you had. And obviously, we treat the cow like a mother because it provides us with milk. Now, when you go through Srimad Bhagavatam, it said Nand Maharaj, who was Krishna's foster father, because he was looking after when Krishna was taken from Mathura to Vrindavan. Nand Maharaj had, can you believe it, 900,000 cows. That's how many cows he had. So you can imagine. And that's why Krishna went to tend the cows all the time. So when Krishna was born, Nand Maharaj distributed to the Brahmanas and other people 200,000 cows, and he gave us on top of the ornaments and everything that gave out in charity. So that's the amount of cows that he handed out. That's why cow protection is so important. And this is why Srila Prabhupada and Krishna states that because he loved the cows, wherever there are cows, there will be prosperity. And you see places where there's no cows, the very minimum cows, there's not much prosperity. There's always fighting, infighting. People are just about struggling. So you have the farmers, you have the businessmen. They are there to create the wealth, the business, the trade, everything that goes on. They are there to create the money, bring in the money. Okay. So the Vaishyas, they're there to maintain everything. They maintain the workers. So if someone's got a business running, he'll be employing someone. Money will be exchanging, coming in, so all that. So farming, cow protection, businesses are the natural work for the Vaishyas. And for the Shudras, they are the labor classes. They like artisans. They like to do very, very fine work. You know, that section of society, they want to. They accept someone's employment, so they're working for them basically. You know, on a weekly wage. They get a weekly or monthly wage on that. So that's what they do. So the thing is, now in modern times, that was so long back ago, but now when you think of modern times, everything is like a khichdi. It's all mixed up. It's all in one pot now. You know, nowadays you think, okay, who's a Brahmana? Who's a Kshatriya? I don't see any warriors. Unless you're in the army, of course, that's a different thing altogether. You know, Kshatriyas, kings and queens, there are not many kings and queens anymore, very few. You have parliaments and prime ministers and everything. Kshatriyas, you have a few farmers, but it's all like a khichdi, so everyone's doing something, you know. The Brahmanas, but for devotees, one thing is for devotees, there's not a problem, there's no issue for them. Because the Brahmanas, they do deity worship, the Kshatriyas, you know, like here in the temple, if I give you the example of the temple, you have the Brahmanas are doing deity worship. You'll have someone else out there looking the admin side, you know, who are good in business, like we have money coming in, money going out, all the expenses, they'll be looking into this. There'll be others who are in the car park, maintaining the car park, maintaining the temple grounds. So everyone's got their own little work that's allocated to them, depending on what they're doing. And then obviously you have like a Kshatriya with temple president, he's overall in charge of everything. He'll be looking after everything. So even like when you see from the temple point of view, you can break it down. But as I said, it's all mixed up. And then verse 45 says, by following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. What we do, we have a choice. And what do? We have a choice. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If we learn physics, we know that for every action you do, there's always an equal and opposite reaction. If I was to hit someone, I would expect someone to hit me back. And it's not that I can just hit someone and nothing's going to happen. It might happen straight away, or you might come back another 4 or 5 people after half an hour. I'll still get the reaction for it. And in a similar way, this leads to karma that we will suffer either there or later on. And whether it's good or bad, whatever deed you do, you get that sort of karma. So in text 46, Krishna is telling us how we can break away from that cycle of karma, of good and bad. What he wants us to do is, he wants us to go and have good karma. So that brings us on to text 46, which we read earlier on. It says, Yata pravritir bhutanam ena sarvam idam tatam sarva karatam tam abhacharya siddham vindati manava. By worshipping the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. The first line is very important, where it says, by worshipping the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading. Now sometimes we do question ourselves, why do we say that? He is the Supreme Lord and He's all pervading. So, when you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, the first verse indicates and specifies who Krishna is, what He does. It says, Janmadasa yato nivayat atiratas chateshu bhigvaswarat tene brahme hriday adi kavaye muyanti yat surya tejo vari mridam yatha vinamayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamnam sevna sada nirashtaku hukum satyam param dhimahi. It's quite long-winded, but translated it says, O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because He is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of creation, subsistence, and destruction of the manifested universes. So that's one small aspect that signifies Lord Krishna. Okay. And in Bhagavad Gita 9.5, Krishna says, O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, all-pervading personality. Oh, I just read that, haven't I? No, he says that again in there. Sorry, 10.8. Aham sarvasa prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante bham bhuda bhava samanmita. Krishna says, quite categorically, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So Krishna says that He is pervading in each and every atom in all living beings, plants and animals, and we are all part and parcel of Him. So in that aspect, we are all attached to Krishna, because we have Krishna, we can see Him, the living entities and the matter around us. And that's all part of Krishna. We are all spiritual souls, spirit souls. So Krishna has His internal energy and His external energy. External energy we can see around us, the sun, the moon, the stars, the wind, the air we breathe, fire, water that we drink. That's all the external energy that we see. That's all part of Krishna. Okay. And then we have His internal energy. Now, sometimes people get confused. Krishna's actual internal energy, and is the one in the material world. Krishna's external energy in the material world is controlled by Durga Devi. You know, you see her on the lion standing with a trident in the hand. So she's pushing everyone, stay where you are, stay where you are. Yet there is Krishna's internal energy, and that internal energy is Srimati Radharani. So that's why you always see Krishna with Radharani. You never see Krishna on his own. They're always together. When you see them on the altar, you see Krishna and Radharani. And whenever we talk about Krishna, and who do we always name first? We always name Radha Krishna, Sita Ram. So we always bring the internal energy first. We always talk about that first. So, like I said, we worship Lord Krishna on the altar with Radharani. So since we are all part and parcel of Krishna, we're automatically attracted to Him. And since we're ultimately attracted to Him, we should do some kind of devotional service to Him. So devotional service is not an option. We are all Indians. Whether you're Indian, English, anyone, any kind of devotional service that we can do, we should do it. Bhakti, we should be doing some kind of bhakti, you know. So the Lord provides us with everything that we have, right? So we need to acknowledge Him. Just like, but how do we do that? We're thinking, how can I acknowledge Krishna? Okay. Krishna is saying, whatever you do, whatever kind of work you're doing, be happy and satisfied with that. and just to offer him something. We're all working outside. I'm working outside. My wife is working outside. So many people work outside. But we can offer something to the Lord. Simple. You're working outside. You're having a daily wage, a monthly wage nowadays. Not daily, it's monthly. Out of that, just give a small offering to the Lord. He's pleased. He doesn't want to say, oh, can I have so much money? Do I need so much? No. It's when you're offering something to do with love. You're offering it to Krishna with love. That's what he's looking for. So, not even that. If you can't even do that, there's 9 processes of devotional service. Hearing, that we're all doing now. Chanting, remembering Krishna. Serving him, worship. I'm sure we all pray to him as well. Execute orders like Hanuman did. That's all he was doing, just following orders. Have Krishna as your friend, or totally surrender to him. So there's a acronym, if you can remember. I'm sure everybody likes cars, yeah? In this room. Everyone likes cars. Just remember BMW. Okay, that's a good car, yeah? But what we say about BMW is 2 ways to look at it. Mind, body, and words engaged in Krishna, or mind, body, and wealth, all in the service of Krishna. I'm sure I remember this. I'm sure a lot of you will do remember it. When you go, before coming to ISKCON, we used to sing that verse, Om Jai Jagadisha Hare, yes? When you go through that verse, it comes where it says, Tan, Man, Dhan, Sab, Sukh, Hai Tera. So we're saying, everything is yours, Krishna. Even then we used to say it, everything belongs to you, nothing is mine. So, that's the above meaning. So, when everything belongs to him, why can't we offer it back to him? Right? That's what he's wanting. But how can we do it? I'm sure everyone's got a little altar at home. Yes? We can all offer some flowers, fruit, milk, just do a small arti at home with him. Krishna doesn't want anything from us. But what Krishna wants from us, he doesn't want anything from us. Krishna is hungry for love, just as we are hungry for love. Everything belongs to him. So you offer him something with love. And those tears of happiness will flow through your eyes and Krishna's eyes. It's just like, you know, when a child takes something from the parents, he wants to buy X, Y, Z. It's like when a child, Mother's Day, he says to the mother, Mother, give me some money, I want to go and buy something. Oh, Mom grudgingly gives it. And imagine it's Mother's Day. He goes out there, brings a flower, and offers it to his mother. The mother is not angry. In fact, the love and affection the mother has for the child increases tremendously. And that's what Krishna is looking from us. Krishna he doesn't need anything from us. He's got everything. And Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam tvam yome bhakti priyachati tadaham bhakti rupa ashnani priya. Just offer me with love a leaf, flower, fruit, and even water. And he is delightful. Even he just wants anything that you can offer him with love. It says in Hari Bhakti Vilas, if you offer God, Krishna, with sincere love, just a tulsi leaf, and as much water as you can hold in your palm, you can imagine, he will offer himself to you in return because he is endeared by love. So can you imagine that? He's not asking for anything. Even if it's a small drop of water and a tulsi leaf, he is satisfied with that. And then the other example, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna, he went to Duryodhana as a peacemaker. Right? He goes, I want peace between all of you. And obviously they couldn't arrange, they never got to the point of making peace. But what happened then? Duryodhana said, I come back to life. Krishna says, Duryodhana offered Krishna a chappan bhog, which is a feast of 56 items. But what Krishna is saying, Krishna says a person eats either when he's hungry for food, when he's hungry or food is provided to him. And Krishna said, neither am I hungry, nor are you providing with love. so I won't come to you. And then he looked over to Viduruji. He goes, I'm coming to your house. I'm going to have a feast at your house. He didn't want the 56 items there. He just said, I'm coming to your house. And then what happened there? Krishna ji goes to Viduruji's house. I'm here. I want to eat something. And what happened then? Viduruji's wife, what's her name? I've forgotten the name now. Just that's come to my mind now. Prabhuji will know. I can't remember the name. What did she do? She saw Krishna. She's, oh my God, Krishna's here. I've got to serve him. That's the only thing. So she started serving Lord Krishna with love. Bananas. So she's peeling the bananas, throwing the banana itself away, and not just offering the peels to Krishna. And Krishna was accepting the peels. Why? Because it was being offered with love. And in the Ramayana, we have another example. When Ram Lakshman is looking for Sita, and Shabri comes with the bear to offer to Lord Ram, she goes, here, take these. But what was she doing? She's biting them herself first and offering to the Lord. But the way she was offering, the Lord was expecting, because she's offering it with love. So, I think I've only got a few minutes left. And the thing is, whatever we can do, and the other example, quick example is the fruit vendor in Vrindavan. When Krishna was small, he'd come running out with his hands, so they were barter system, with a few grains of rice, and she was putting loads of fruits in his hand, and every time she was going backwards, forwards. She didn't realize her fruits were empty, but her baskets was full of jewels. That's how Krishna repays you. He repays you in a way that we don't understand, but he knows what's good for us. He repays that. So this bhakti, Krishna reciprocates an ocean of love. If we take one step towards him, he takes us 1,000 steps towards us with our sincerity. But in this age of Kali Yuga, sometimes we find it hard to do so many things. All this austerity, arti, puja, this time we don't have time for that. But I'm sure we've got time for one thing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that we can all do, and it only takes a few minutes, and we can practice this now. If everybody lifts their hands in the air,